Having the flu is a nightmare. Your throat's so sore. You're congested. You cough. Body aches all over. But now there's TheraFlu, the first hot medicine strong enough for flu symptoms, with a hot liquid like doctors recommend. Strong therapy for fever and cough. Strong therapy for aches and pains. TheraFlu, tough enough to beat the flu. TheraFlu is available at these outlets.
Funny how things surprise you. I bought Lysol Cleaner because I want everything that comes near them to be as clean as it can be. Cleaner. But when I opened the bottle, I didn't expect that nice fresh lemon scent from something so reliable. Other cleaners can clean too, but most can't disinfect like Lysol. And I like using a lemon scent around my family.
Lysol Deodorizing Cleaner with a lemon fresh scent.
I like Lysol.
A lot of people brush their teeth as much as 3 times a day with a tartar control toothpaste, and that's good, but not good enough. Because as any dentist will tell you, the #1 dental problem isn't tartar, it's plaque. The problem is plaque. The solution is PLAX, the incredible pre-brushing rinse that removes 300% more plaque than brushing alone. PLAX, original flavor and soft mint, removes 300% more plaque than brushing alone.
Let me take you to the party, Lake Tahoe, swinging party, on the South Shore, where the girls are. Catch a star where moonlight glimmers, here's to all those lucky winners. Tahoe, it's the party, and the party's at Harveys.
Good evening. The early March rains may have a beneficial effect on some parts of the drought-stricken Bay Area, but not Santa Clara County. The South Bay depends on rain and groundwater for its existence. So far, the rain is not helping much. We'll have a report.
In Oakland, the rain didn't stop parents and teachers from marching to protest the school district's financial problems and the plans to alleviate them. Cutbacks in teachers and layoffs, while plans for administrative raises go ahead. We'll have that report at 10 and more right after this.
Imagine you were a car. What would you be? You'd be a sports car. You'd be quick, agile. You'd be turbocharged. And of course, you'd be a Porsche.
See your local authorized Porsche dealer.
Also tonight, the first Democrat announces for John Tower. The Eastern Airlines strike heats up, and Alviso residents win a multi-million-dollar flood settlement.
In Scotland, another fatal head-on train crash. And in the Midwest, they're calling it the snowstorm of the century. I'm Elaine Corral.
And I'm Dennis Richmond. We'll have those stories, all the news at 10.
For 4 generations, the people of Waipahu, Hawaii have grown sugar cane for C&H. So when there's a special occasion, they all gather young and old to celebrate and enjoy the sweet rewards of over 80 years of working and living together. We hope you do too.
Pure cane sugar from Hawaii, C&H.
Something is happening at McDonald's. Buy a Coca-Cola. Peel the sticker. And play Splash for Cash. You could win $25,000 instantly. Super discounts on McDonald's food, vacations via Delta Airlines, or free passports to Disneyland. So drop into McDonald's today, play Splash for Cash, and celebrate Splash Mountain coming to Disneyland this summer. After all, you wouldn't want to be left high and dry.
Only a few things roll into the LA area more often than we do. American Airlines, with 65 nonstops every business day.
Due to the mature theme of this film, parental discretion is advised.
Today, leading health authorities, including cancer research specialists, urge us to eat foods rich in beta-carotene, foods like broccoli, spinach, kale. Today, we've added beta-carotene to a more complete Centrum formula. Centrum with more vitamins including beta-carotene and minerals. More complete than any leading brand. Help support your diet with Centrum. More complete from A to Zinc. And for children, there's Centrum Junior. More complete than any leading children's chewable vitamin.
Feel your pulse pounding, your temperature rise.
The LeMans series from Pontiac. They're not your average little imports. They're quick, responsive, and above all, exciting to drive. Hatchbacks, four-doors, sport coupes. With LeMans, the choice is yours. They're all very affordable, and that's kind of exciting, too.
Get on your Pontiac. We build excitement.
Mom, when Columbus discovered America, did his mom say, put it back? These are Jell-O pudding snacks. Delicious Jell-O pudding in a cup. No way to pick the flavors or colors, and fasten that seatbelt, Mom. 70% skim milk. What do you say we pick up 12 or 13? 2. 2 is doable.
Jell-O pudding snacks. Pretty smart for a kid.
When you think Lucky, you think high quality and low prices. Now through September 2nd, Lucky and USA are offering a great travel opportunity. Save Lucky register receipts totaling $100, and you can buy 2 round-trip travel certificates to any USAir city in the western U.S. for just $159 each, or round-trip to any USAir city in the U.S. for just $259 each. Redeem your certificate at any Northern California Ask Mr. Foster travel service or any USAir ticketing outlet. This offer exclusively from USAir, California's #1 airline, and Lucky, still the low-price leader.
It's never too late to make it better.
Yeah.
Jordache Basics, very blue.
The Postman Always Rings Twice is tonight's movie special. It's definitely for mature audiences.
The facts about butter and calories. Think butter has a ton of calories. Think again. Butter has just 36 calories a pat, the same as margarine. So for no more calories, you get butter's great taste. Delicious dairy butter.
Did you know that delicious Swift Premium Brown and Serve sausage comes in a patty with cheese and egg on a hot biscuit? We call it a sandwich. Swift Premium Brown and Serve sandwiches, microwave fast. And you thought we just made great sausage.
Oh, look!
Listen to this. It's Sizzler's broiled shrimp and lemon herb chicken. Plump, delicious shrimp, broiled and basted, and a tender breast of chicken seasoned with lemon and herbs.
Are you hungry?
Yeah. Why? Sizzler, a fresh experience.
We had a little party down in Berkeley. There was Mary, there was Grace. Oh, we had a little party down in Berkeley. And we had to carry Harry from the place. For the old blues, for the old blues. The hills were down the cry, we're off to do or die for the old blues.
The BMW 3 Series. It's why some enthusiasts are more enthusiastic than others.
From Touchstone Pictures.
My mother always humiliates me. She's always telling me that I look terrible.
Gee, you look terrible.
Will Woody Allen ever find love, happiness, and his mother's approval?
His father was completely bald, too.
I'm not completely bald.
You will be.
It's Woody Allen's Oedipus Rex, along with Francis Coppola's Life Without Zoe and Martin Scorsese's Life Lessons. 3 stories in one unique motion picture. New York Stories. Rated PG.
Now playing at the Regency. Check newspaper for showtimes.
Get on the ground!
The most dangerous job in the world.
Rock and roll.
Is now a television series. And it's all real.
Get out! Get out! Get off my streets!
Saturday at 9 on Channel 2. Due to the mature theme of this film, parental discretion is advised.
Can I get this tomorrow? You want it when? Tomorrow!
At other stores, getting alterations by tomorrow can be a real problem. But with C&R's new express tailoring, tomorrow isn't a problem for normal alterations.
Yeah, we can have this for you by tomorrow. Tomorrow? Tomorrow!
Buy your suit, sport coat, or slacks today, and you can have it ready tomorrow. Express tailoring, only at C&R.
The U.S. ambassador expressed his team's concern.
Compounding problems even further as the strike moves into its fourth.
Maybe you can't stop the world, but for a week or so, you can get off. NCL Sea Saver fares can put you on board the Southward starting at just $279. Call your travel agent soon. Norwegian Cruise Line, the world's best way to leave the world behind.
If you wish there was something as effective for your colds as Tylenol is for your headaches, you're about to discover one medicine with the power of 4. Now from the makers of powerful pain relief comes fast, effective cold relief. Tylenol Cold medication. With the strength of 4 powerful medicines, Tylenol Cold helps stop the runny nose, congestion, hacking cough, and aching pain. Tylenol Cold, the newest name in cold relief. Also in no drowsiness formula.
Where? Nexus. Where did you get in salon. Only in salons.
Excuse me if I stare. Where?
Nexus.
Where?
Nexus.
Where did you get that?
Only in salons.
Nexus. Ooh, Nexus.
Nexus products, where you go for beautiful hair.
The Postman Always Rings Twice is tonight's movie special. It's definitely for mature audiences.
1, 2, 3. Let me take you to the party. Lake Tahoe, swinging party. On the South Shore, where the girls are. Catch a star where moonlight glimmers. Here's to all those lucky winners. Tahoe, it's the party. And the party's at Harveys.
Dog foods come, dog foods go. But there's still no better food for keeping your dog fit and healthy than these old favorites. Alpo Canned and Alpo Dry. After 50 years, nobody beats Alpo.
You can't always see it, but it's there. Residue clinging to everything your dishwasher washed. Detergents can't get it off, but Jet Dry can in the final rinse. Jet Dry rinses off what detergents leave behind.
Remember when you didn't have to demand service?
Let me get this for you, Steve.
When you just got it?
Oil spines, Steve. Take care of yourselves, you guys.
At American Savings, we're over $15 billion strong, and accounts are federally insured up to $100,000.
Maybe you ought to consider a short-term CD that'll meet both your objectives.
But most importantly, we remember banking the way it ought to be. American Savings, banking the American way.
Tuesday at 8, MASH is back. A special 1-hour presentation only on Channel 2.
Due to the mature theme of this film, parental discretion is advised.
The U.S. ambassador expressed his team's concern.
Compounding problems even further as the strike moves into its fourth.
Maybe you can't stop the world, but for a week or so, you can get off. NCL Sea Saver fares can put you on board the Southward starting at just $279. Call your travel agent soon. Norwegian Cruise Line, the world's best way to leave the world behind.
Still no word. Recently, 10 best-selling latex paints were brought together in an independent test to take the guesswork out of finding a quality flat wall paint.
Hot, huh?
Each was tested on the toughest quality measurement of all, scrub resistance. The winner?
Glidden Spread Satin. Thank you very much.
Glidden Spread Satin. It outscrubbed them all, and it's on sale now.
Doc, who came in second? Does it really matter?
Glidden, your paint should be this good.
Come on, hon, we'll be late for work. Poor Barbara.
She took a cold medicine for a stuffy nose, and now it's made her drowsy. If only she could go back and take Sudafed instead. You see, Sudafed starts to work in as quick as 22 minutes without drowsiness. So you don't get drowsy, you get relief.
Come on, hon, we'll be late for work.
What took you so long?
Sudafed for fast relief without drowsiness.
A cheese riddle. Hey, Mom, what do you get when you add grated Parmesan to ordinary vegetable soup? A super kid's lunch. Remember, cheese makes it taste better, so don't forget the cheese.
Get ready for a new eye drop so refreshing you won't believe your eyes.
Wow.
Introducing new Visine Extra. An extra medication cools, soothes, moisturizes, and protects irritated eyes. New Visine Extra.
This is one of the few things that covers more of the West Coast than we do. American Airlines and American Eagle with flights to 27 airports.
News Brief is brought to you by your Northern California Mazda dealers.
Good evening. A huge weather system dumped up to 16 inches of snow on the Midwest today. The storm came with such a vengeance that hundreds of schools closed down in 10 states, along with airports and highways. At least 12 people have died so far.
2 commuter trains collided outside Glasgow, Scotland today. 2 people were killed, scores injured. This was the second rail collision in Britain in just the past 48 hours. One witness said 1 minute we were sitting down, the next people were thrown all over the place. We'll have that at 10, and we'll have more right after this.
Beating the Honda Prelude could be a challenge, but look at it this way. This sporty Mazda MX-6 beats it by over $2,500. Its warranty covers you for an additional 14,000 miles. MX-6 has far more room inside. I mean, right now it comes with $750 cash back from Mazda. How's that for a good reason to make the move to Mazda?
See your local Mazda dealer today and get $750 cash back on MX-6.
A senator from Alabama has become the first Democrat to support John Tower. And in San Francisco, the story behind a murder on Turk Street.
Strike against Eastern Airlines has just about grounded that carrier. We'll take a look at airline safety. I'm Dennis Richmond.
And I'm Elaine Corral. We'll have those stories, all the news, tonight on the 10 o'clock news.
You can't always see it, but it's there. Residue from food, detergent, minerals, clinging to everything your dishwasher washed. Detergent alone can't get it off. You also need Jet Dry, a rinse agent, to shower it off in the final rinse and keep it from sticking to your dishes. So if you're serious about cleaning, use Jet Dry. It rinses off what detergents leave behind.
At Walt Disney World, there's a special land of fun in the Magic Kingdom, Mickey's Birthdayland.
Come on, Minnie. Here we go.
Now at McDonald's, you can share in the magic, because when you buy your kids McDonald's Mickey's Birthday-Land Happy Meal, they'll get one of 5 exclusive pullback racers. Mickey in his Roadster, Minnie in her convertible, Goofy in his sports car, Pluto in his runabout, and Donald in his locomotive. McDonald's Mickey's Birthday-Land Happy Meal, only at McDonald's.
See you real soon.
Hey, did you ever hear about the California couple that came up to Lake Tahoe to stay and play and wine and dine and see all the shows? Well, they drove home in a really foul mood because while they were up here, they discovered they could have done even more. For a little less money, if they had come to the High Sierra Casino Hotel. You never heard that one? Look, I got a million of them. I'm going to tell you how it turned out. See what...
Hey, guys, look who's here.
It's Mr. Most Likely to Succeed.
Hi, Steve. Nice truck.
Bet it's just like our trucks.
Nah, it's a Ford Ranger XLT. Has anti-lock rear brakes, electronic fuel injection.
How about AM/FM stereo cassette?
That too, plus power steering and 660 powertrain warranty.
Okay, but who paid less?
I did. I hate reunions.
Ford Ranger. More features for less money than Chevy or Toyota.
And now it's the Channel 2 newsreel with news from the front lines. The best news at 11 isn't the news at all. MASH is back.
That's the first good news I've heard in 2 days.
With all your favorites from the 4077. War is hell even at 11 o'clock. So why settle for another dose of late news when MASH has the perfect prescription? Remember, MASH is back weeknights at 11, starting tonight. And that's the way it is. on Channel 2. Due to the mature theme of this film, parental discretion is advised.
Are the stars out tonight? I don't know if it's cloudy.
The BMW 325i convertible. Along with the sun, moon, and stars, you get a car worth driving.
The facts about butter and calories. Think butter has a ton of calories. Think again. Butter has just 36 calories a pat, the same as margarine. So for no more calories, you get butter's great taste. Delicious dairy butter.
Dentists warn the #1 dental problem isn't cavities, it isn't tartar, it's plaque. And brushing alone doesn't get enough plaque off your teeth. The solution is PLAX, the pre-brushing rinse that removes 300% more plaque than brushing alone.
Hey, sir, I want some more. But we can all have more. Look, new hearty cup of noodles. More peas. More carrots. More meat. And bigger noodles. Dickens, you say? Just try some. Delicious. Might I have more?
The more, the better. New hearty cup of noodles from Nissan.
Mommy. Mommy, I feel hot. Oh, honey. Sure feels like you've got a fever.
Nights like these are when you're glad you can rely on children's Tylenol to bring her fever down fast.
Don't worry, sweetie. You'll feel better soon.
And mornings like these
Mommy, we both feel better now.
are why children's Tylenol is the one most pediatricians give their own children. And now children's Tylenol comes in grape flavor, too.
How do you translate a concern for mankind into feeding the hungry? At the Salvation Army, caring is a language the whole world understands.
The Postman Always Rings Twice is tonight's movie special. It's definitely for mature audiences.
Harry, if you don't want to end up in court, you better send a child support.
I'm calling about your son, Grover. You better send money. His ski trip's over.
Send the money now, you dig? Or we won't make our next gig.
To send someone money fast, come to Western Union. We'll make sure it gets to any of our 10,000 locations, usually in 15 minutes or less.
Cruising!
Western Union, the fastest way to send money.
You can't always see it, but it's there. Residue from food, detergent, minerals, clinging to everything your dishwasher washed. Detergent alone can't get it off. You also need Jet Dry, a rinse agent, to shower it off in the final rinse and keep it from sticking to your dishes. So if you're serious about cleaning, use Jet Dry. It rinses off what detergents leave behind.
Today's small cars are tougher than ever on oil. Their high-compression engines not only rev high, they can run hotter than regular small car engines. Their searing heat can begin to break down an oil immediately. That's why there's Castrol, the motor oil that in every grade provides maximum protection against viscosity and thermal breakdown. So use Castrol before your engine does something to get you heated up. Castrol, engineered for today's smaller cars.
You are now entering the eye zone. First you notice one tiny line, then another. Now from the Estee Lauder laboratories comes iZone. With continued regular use, this unique repair gel can rebuild your skin's appearance, dramatically diminishing the visible signs of aging around your eyes. And right now, you'll receive this free gift with any Estee Lauder purchase of $12.50 or more. This gift is yours through March 11th at Macy's.
The daughter who was left behind.
The child was killed. It is dead.
I wish I was.
Abandoned, embittered. Now, a world-famous sex queen whose lust for revenge becomes a crusade to find her true identity. Brooke Adams, Ariel Dombal, Deborah Raffin, and Phoebe Cates. In a saga of international intrigue, danger, and sex. Lace 2, Tuesday, March 14th on Channel 2.
Read it and believe every word.
Due to the mature theme of this film, parental discretion is advised.
Storm clouds headed this way. Alone, not an answer to the drought, but it could be a good start. We'll have a live report.
Eastern is all but grounded as its pilots and pilots from other airlines show their support for a strike. And Pepsi takes Madonna off the airwaves.
We'll have those stories, all the news next on the 10 o'clock news.
Live 105 FM on the cutting edge. Live 105, Modern Rock at 105.3. On the cutting edge. Live 105, the station that dares to be different.
My fellow Texans get kind of ornery when I tell them the best salsa is LaVictoria.
LaVictoria? From California?
Look, thicker, fresher, and more authentic. And taste fantastic. My caddy says they'll get even with me for bad mouthing their picante sauce. But I told him not to worry. I told him not to worry.
LaVictoria Salsa, Picante, or Suprema. You just can't miss.
You're looking at one Advil. In just one Advil tablet, there's the effectiveness of 2 regular aspirin or 2 regular strength Tylenol. But when you really hurt and need more relief, you can just imagine how effective 2 Advil can be. Yet for all its effectiveness, Advil is still gentler to your stomach than aspirin. Before, there was only aspirin or Tylenol. But today, there's Advil. Advil, tablets and caplets, advanced medicine for pain.
Dentists warn the #1 dental problem isn't cavities, it isn't tartar, it's plaque. And brushing alone doesn't get enough plaque off your teeth. The solution is PLAX, the pre-brushing rinse that removes 300% more plaque than brushing alone.
Did you know that delicious Swift Premium Brown and Serve sausage comes in a patty with cheese and egg on a hot biscuit? We call it a sandwich. Swift Premium Brown and Serve sandwiches, microwave fast. And you thought we just made great sausage.
For 4 generations, the people of Waipahu, Hawaii have grown sugar cane for C&H. So when there's a special occasion, they all gather young and old to celebrate and enjoy the sweet rewards of over 80 years of working and living together. We hope you do too.
Pure cane sugar from Hawaii, C&H.
Tomorrow night at 8, join us for a special 1-hour episode of MASH, followed by the Billy Graham Toronto Crusade. Now stay tuned for the award-winning 10 o'clock news right here on Channel 2.
When you really need it by tomorrow, express tailoring at C&R.
KitchenAid dishwashers are so well made, some people change their kitchens before they change their KitchenAid. So you'll be glad that KitchenAid also makes a complete line of cooking products, like advanced built-in ovens and gas and electric cooktops, built to perform as beautifully as our dishwashers for years and years and years. KitchenAid, for the way it's made.
For more than 80 years, people have come home to homes with Andersen windows. Come home. And while times have changed, our commitment to quality and to the home has not. Which is why today, more people come home to Andersen windows than any other.
Come home to quality. Come home to Andersen.
You can't beat the Giants at home on Channel 2.
A few good storms in March could change the state's drought picture. One dumped rain over the weekend. A second looks very promising. Eastern Airline pilots are already honoring striking machinist picket lines, but their next move may bring all the nation's air carriers to a slow crawl.
A San Francisco neighborhood seeking a new image faces an old problem, murder. And Pepsi says Madonna's image is not what it wants after all. We'll have those stories, all the news, on this Monday night, March 6, 1989.
Live from Channel 2 and first in the Bay Area, this is the award-winning Teleblock News, the #1 primetime newscast in the country.
Good evening. I'm Elaine Corral.
And I'm Dennis Richmond. State water officials tonight have their fingers crossed, their drought forecasts on hold as they hungrily eye storm clouds formed off the California coast and headed this way. With a third straight year of drought conditions staring the state squarely in the eyes, the storms of the first few days of this month and the storm clouds coming represent the first glimmer of hope that water rationing could be averted this year. Weather officials say the dark, heavy clouds are rich in moisture and could go a long way in replenishing the state's rapidly drying reservoirs. Still, averting a drought is an iffy situation. As one water official put it, they'd like to see more whites of the eyes of the type storm that hit the Bay Area over the weekend before any drought predictions are made. But no matter how enticing, how water-rich the clouds look, the water still has to reach the ground to do any good. George Watson is standing by near Lake Merritt in Oakland right now, where it has now stopped raining. George?
Well, Dennis, it's not raining at the moment. It hasn't been for quite a while, actually, but all the forecasters, including Pat, say it's going to be before too much longer. Now, beginning with the rain that fell over this past weekend, we have received about 3 inches so far this month. Now, that's good, but far short of what is needed. State water officials, however, are optimistic enough to have second thoughts now about proclaiming this California's third straight drought year. Locally, if the rain continues, water officials say they might not have to increase some of their proposed water rationing plans. Now, if we get a wet March, that's about 20 inches of rain, that would approach normal levels, and we would get Northern California off the critical drought list and onto the dry year list. The East Bay Municipal Water District says it needs 30 inches of rain by April 1st. It doesn't care if it comes in the form of snow, sleet, rain, hail, just as long as it eventually turns into water. The snow and rain falling in the Sierra is a big step in the right direction, but 30 inches in 1 month is a tall order. However, East Bay Mud says that's what it needs to declare the drought over and to end current customer water rationing. What's coming down is good, but will it be enough? As of today, East Bay Mud's reservoir situation looks like this. Pardee, the largest reservoir, is at 78% capacity. 12 local reservoirs stand at 87%, and Comanche is way below capacity at only 2%. With the exception of Comanche, you might think the district is in pretty good shape.
Well, no, because, you see, we have to keep releasing water from Comanche downstream. To do that, we have to release it from Pardee into Comanche, and that's our drinking water supply. So this is a serious problem for us.
East Bay Mud has additional problems as well. It can't wait and hope for enough rain and snow to fall for the entire month of March. Officials need to know by March 14th exactly where they stand in terms of how much water they have and how much they need. By then, they must decide if they need to buy 60,000 acre-feet of water from Yuba County at a cost of $2.7 million.
We can't really make decisions based on forecasts. You know, you have to kind of really see what do they leave you on the ground. 11 inches in order to not have to buy that Yuba County water. It's a lot of precipitation.
Well, not only Mud hoping for 11 inches of rain by the middle of this month, they say if they got 20 inches by the end of the month, they'd be approaching a normal dry year. Things would remain the same. If they got to 30 inches, then they could say they could call off the drought and call off all water rationing plans. But that is so much rain that I know at least the people at East Bay Mud, they aren't counting on it. Dennis, Elaine?
George, with the hopeful predictions of this storm coming in, doesn't this mark the first time that water officials have even said something to the effect that perhaps we can avoid a drought?
Oh, you bet, Dennis. It's nice to hear something positive. I think they're having to restrain their glee at the chance that they can finally talk about the possibility that if we do have a wet March, granted a lot of rain, that we could be turning things around in the state of California. And California has been earmarked as the worst drought state in the entire nation. So any news is good news, and we're getting it.
Okay. Good luck. Thanks, George. George Watson reporting live from Oakland.
As George just reported, the rain that started over the weekend has brought some optimism to Northern California, but virtually none to the South Bay. People there feel cheated by nature. One big, dark, threatening cloud after another seems to pass them by. Santa Clara County is less than 1 month away from some major mandatory cutbacks. With storms all around them, even schools are setting up special classes to teach children about conserving water. As Lloyd LaQuesta reports, San Jose saw rain today, but it all amounted to a big tease.
It did rain in the San Jose area today, but it was not a steady downpour, hardly a gully washer, and that's the problem. Rain in the South Bay is producing little runoff.
It's just nothing. There's a little bit is dribbling out of the watersheds, but it's just not what you would expect this time of year.
Every day by computer, the Santa Clara Valley Water District monitors rainfall and water levels in its reservoirs. But there was no need for a computer to see the rain was doing little to raise the levels at Lexington Reservoir. Today, it had only 594 acre-feet of water. It can hold 19,000.
We seem to be getting passed by from all the storm systems. Just to the north of us, they're getting amounts in the inches. In the last couple of days, we've only got hundredths of an inch, 800ths in the higher elevations. The long-term thing is the more the snowpack builds, the better it is for us. But we still need local runoff and to get our reservoirs up.
Today, the Water District was also measuring its underground water supply. This is a district well field. 40% of Santa Clara County's water comes out of the ground. Dry up the underground supply and the ground will compact and subside. In other words, sink, creating the possibility of massive damage to buildings, streets, and sewer lines throughout the valley. Readings today reveal the groundwater levels have risen, but that might be because the district has suspended groundwater pumping from these wells.
And when we go back into summer, you'll see the water levels begin to drop again, and you'll see the compaction beginning to pick up once again.
All these statistics about rainfall and water level all add up to one glaring number of more concern to South Bay water users. The 45% mandatory cutback in water use cities are expected to impose on residents by the beginning of next month. Tomorrow, Santa Clara County elementary school teachers will be getting information about water in special workshops. It's an effort to educate youngsters about water and water conservation.
Turning on the water, how much to turn on the water at home, you know, how much to flush the toilet, all of those things, how long of a shower to take. Being able to realize that there's a real need to conserve. And if they're doing it, if they're modeling it, hey, maybe parents will do it too.
If you take 2 showers a day, you're only going to take 1. If you drink 8 cups of coffee a day, you're only going to drink 4. That's the kind of savings that we need to achieve.
It's estimated the South Bay will need another 4 inches of rain this month before it can even consider saying no to mandatory water rationing. In San Jose, Lloyd LaQuesta for the 10 o'clock news.
While we're counting raindrops just 2 weeks before the start of spring, a vicious storm that seemed to come out of the blue buried Missouri under 16 inches of snow today, the worst storm to hit that state in a century, and it blew in trouble from Texas to New York. 11 inches of snow fell in St. Louis alone, causing the city to delay the mayoral election there. Hundreds of schools closed down across 10 states, with travelers snowbound in airports and along major highways. The weather has been blamed for at least 12 deaths across the Midwest. A desk clerk at a Holiday Inn in St. Louis said all she could see out her window were big rigs stacked up and stalled along freeway off-ramps. South of Oklahoma City, the police chief said the snow drifted halfway up front doors. Poultry farmers in Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Missouri blamed the blizzard for millions of dollars in losses. Highways iced up across the eastern seaboard, crippling ground travel and further antagonizing air travelers who already face delays because of the Eastern Airlines strike.
Well, the Eastern strike grew no nearer a settlement today. In fact, Eastern suspended nearly all of its flights, saying there's no way it can fly all the planes. In addition, the airline told about 5,000 non-union workers that there is no work for them, at least not right now. John Zarella has that story.
It was inevitable. Eastern Airlines, virtually grounded by a machinist union strike and sympathy strikes by its pilots and flight attendants, has been forced to suspend nearly its entire daily operation, almost 1,000 flights.
Eastern is reducing the airline starting immediately, with the exception of the air shuttle and 3 weekly round trips between Miami, Buenos Aires, and Santiago.
In reducing its service, the airline kept its most lucrative route, the 62 flights a day shuttle serving Boston, New York, and Washington. The South America flight is Eastern's second most profitable. The skeleton schedule means 5,000 non-union employees are immediately being furloughed with partial pay based upon salary. The airline has also filed suit in federal court in Miami, claiming the pilots are engaged in an illegal strike. And a communique has been sent to all pilots ordering them back to work by noon Tuesday. The airline is clearly blaming the pilots for grounding the fleet.
The pilots are conducting their own economic strike against the company. Theirs is not a sympathy strike in support of the IAM.
The pilots say Eastern's action, taken against them along with downsizing service, are simply tactics aimed at scaring people back to work. They blame all the airline's problems on Frank Lorenzo, the head of Texas Air Corporation, which owns Eastern.
This is not a strike that the unions called. This is a strike that Mr. Lorenzo called.
Eastern Airlines is caught in the middle. The unions and their memberships are, in essence, fighting Frank Lorenzo, not the airline.
Stop Lorenzo now! Stop Lorenzo now!
That was made clear at a flight attendant's protest outside a Miami hotel where Eastern was interviewing for replacement flight attendants. Eastern had based its entire strike contingency plan on a belief that hundreds of pilots would cross the machinist picket line. That never happened, and the pilots say it won't. John Zarellis, Miami.
Here in the Bay Area, Eastern operates only out of San Francisco International. All 6 flights a day in and out of SFO have been grounded since the strike began. Locally, there are 36 machinists and aerospace workers on strike, and today many of them return to the picket line. Those pickets are also being supported by local Eastern flight attendants and pilots inside the terminal.